Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Yes, I'm still in Nanaimo, and we'll get to what I've been doing over the last 3 months and why I haven't been putting out any videos for the last three and a half months. It's been, well, you know, you're not going to get a video like this from the younger guys in China because, well, you'll figure it out by the time I'm done this video. See, the cost of living in China. Well, you know, I'm not going to be talking about the financial cost of living in China. What I'm going to be doing is talking about the human cost of living in China. I retired. Well, most of the people that watch my videos know that I've been going back and forth to China. Now we're going on about 16 years. And during that 16 years, I've seen a lot. But for the first 11 years, I would be in China maybe 3 months out of the year. And the rest of the time, I'd be back in Saskatchewan working in Canada. Well, in 2014, I retired, and Weifong and I decided to move to China. Well, you know, I'm 17,000 kilometers away from my family and friends, and that's one of the big things that I noticed, that you know, I lost contact with a lot of my friends, and I didn't have a lot of contact with my family. Well, you know, with me that wasn't that big of a deal because, well, sort of being one of those adventurous type of people out running around the world doing things, and you know, family's fine, they'll be fine, no problem. Well, as I say, I retired in April of 2014, and about 8 months later, my sister passed away. Wow, that one took me by surprise. It was difficult for me. I was 17,000 kilometers away. I couldn't get back home in time for a funeral. I couldn't be around family and friends. And you see, funerals aren't for the person that passed away. The funeral is for the people to say goodbye. And I wasn't able to do that. This is one of the big costs of living in China. To make things worse, 6 months later, my mom passed away. I got an email from my brother. I was in Japan at the time. Weifong and I were doing a whirlwind trip of Japan, and we were by Mount Fuji at about 6 o'clock at night. We were all dressed up in these little kimono Japanese outfits and stuff, and we were having an authentic Japanese dinner. I get an email from my brother. Mom passed away. You know, so there's not just the financial cost of moving to a different country. There's not just the cost of being away from family and friends, but there's a human cost of bad things can happen to your family and friends while you're gone, and you're not there for them. And this is one of the big downfalls that I see of moving to China. Well, to make things even worse, we were in China last January, and my uncle, yes, he passed away. So now we got three people in my family passed away while I was overseas, and I wasn't there for funerals or family or any of this stuff. And this is probably the biggest cost that I've come across living in China. More than that, I've made videos, self-medication in China, no problem. Going to the doctor in China, oh, it's so cheap, and you get in right away, and all of this other stuff. Well, you know, there's more cost of living in China than meets the eye. It's hard for me to bring this one up, because this is the reason why I haven't been on video for the last 3.5 months. I've been busy. I've been super busy. A year ago, last August, Weifong said, I got a lump in my breast. I said, well, let's go see a doctor, Chinese doctor. So we go in and see a Chinese doctor, and they do all their little tests, and they say, Oh no, just a cyst. It's full of water. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So he's a doctor, so we listened to him. Then last February, we said, you know, just after my uncle passed away of prostate cancer, my mother passed away of lung cancer. She smoked, so, you know, and my sister passed away of liver disease. So by this time, I was a little bit, let's say, paranoid. And so February we go back to see another doctor at the #1 hospital in Nanning. And they grade hospitals, you know, #1 is the best one in all of Nanning. And #8 hospital is not so good. I went to #8 hospital with a swollen elbow. What was it? What did they call that? I can't remember. Anyway, so the doctor at the #8 hospital says, well, just put lighter fluid on it, light it on fire, and slap it out till the fire goes out. And no, I'm not going to do that. You know, so there's good doctors and there's bad doctors. Because when I went to the #1 hospital, I found a doctor that said, well, here, we'll just drain it and give you a cortisone shot. You should be fine. And that made sense to me. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But anyway, I'm regressing. So in February we went back to the doctor and put Wei Fang through the tests again, because she said this lump in her breast had grown a bit. Okay, so we go to see the doctor, and after all the tests are done, we sat the doctor down and said, what's the story? He says, no, it's just a cyst, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. And we said, are you sure? 100% sure? Oh yes, I'm 100% sure. Well, this didn't sit right with us. We thought, you know, better to be safe than sorry. So we jumped on an airplane in March, and we came back to Canada here. And first thing we did is, of course, we went to go see the doctor. Well, she went in for a mammogram on at about, well, I think 9:30 in the morning, and that took half an hour. At 10:30, they were doing a biopsy and sent it away. They said it was going to take about 10 days. Well, 2 days later, the doctor phones me and says, we found you got cancer. So you can see why I haven't been around. I've been pretty busy with, you know, Wei Fang's been going through an operation, and she's just finished her, well, she's about 11 days past her 3rd chemo. You know, so she's been sick, and I've been taking care of her, and it's been a tough time for us. But you see, this is another cost of living in China, where in a country like Canada, the medical system is so much better than the Chinese system. I guess they look at it as, what's another person dead? It doesn't matter to them, because you can't sue them. If a doctor did that in Canada, I'd sue him into the Stone Age. But in China, there is no recourse. So, you know, the human cost of living in a place like China can be quite high, you know. So you can see over the last 4 years and, I don't know, 6 months, this is coming on 5 years, I've had a lot of things happen in my family, and it's getting smaller. I guess the trick is to be the last person standing, eh? But that's a poor joke. I'll probably cut that one out. But you can understand that living in a place far away from your family and your friends. Oh, friends! I had a buddy here just had a stroke the other day, and he passed away. You know, so, but we're in Canada. He's in Saskatchewan. We're in BC. You don't get videos like this from the younger guys and girls in China, because they're still bulletproof. Their friends and their family are still fairly young, and you know, they're still bulletproof, and they think everybody else is. Up until 4 years ago, I thought the same thing. You know, I thought I'm bulletproof and my family's going to live forever. My friends are going to live forever. But I guess that's just not the way it is. You know, so when you're thinking about moving to a place like China or any other country for that matter, think about the human cost. You know, think about your family and your friends. Think about not being there for them in their time of in their bad times. You know, and it's one of those things that sort of rags on me. You know, every once in a while, when I sit back and I think about it, I think, oh God, you know, I should have been there, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. Would it have changed this last 4.5 years? The last year I would have. As soon as Wei Feng said she had, you know, a lump in her breast, I would have jumped on an airplane and flown back to Canada, knowing what I know now. But you trust the doctors, and take it from me, when you're dealing with stuff like that in China, do not trust the doctors. If it's baritis of the elbow, that's what I had. If it's something like baritis of the elbow, or you know, you've got a toothache or any of these little things, yes, okay, then you can trust the doctors. But if it's something that could be serious, no, I wouldn't trust a Chinese doctor, and that comes from experience. So Gweilo 60 has paid a price for living in China over the last number of years, and you know, it's one of those things that eats you up inside a little bit. You know, this last 3.5-4 months dealing with Wei Feng is being really difficult, both on Wei Feng mostly, but on me too, because you know, I'm bound to go through it with her, and it's one of those things that you know, I haven't made a video about it until now. You know, Wei Feng's sort of feeling better. You know, she's got another chemo coming up on December the 14th, and then another 12 smaller ones that aren't as invasive once a week for the next 12 weeks. But by springtime, she'll be back on her saddle and away we'll go again. And chances are we're going to be back in China probably in the summertime. I'm hoping anyway. We're still in Nanaimo. We're doing good, but it has been a rough road to hoe, I tell you that right now. She's been a tough one, guys. So I've been back in Canada for about 8 months now, and you know, the video I did about not fitting in, I still don't fit in after 8 months here. I'm bored out of my gourd. I don't like the cold Canadian winter. As you can see, it's cold out here. I'm freezing. No, it's not that bad. It's Nanaimo. It's probably maybe 5 or 6 above Celsius right now. So it's in Nanning, that would be a super cold day. But yeah, I still don't fit in Canada. But because of our situation, I have to be here, and that's not going to change anytime soon. I will be putting out some more videos now, because things have sort of settled down, and life is getting better for us. You know, the serious, scary parts are over, and the sun is shining. But you see, we're sort of in a conundrum here, because when I come to Canada and I'm around family and friends, then Wei Feng is away from her family. So, you know, we sort of got to find a happy medium. Sure, we've had some bad things happen to us. Filled out. Some bad things happened to us in the last 4 years, but we're not defeated at all. And we will go back to China just for the fact that Wei Feng's family and friends are in China. So, and we've got a home there, and I'm not willing to give up what we've built and done in China. So we're going to try to do, I guess, 50% in Canada and 50% in China, which is I guess it's a good trade-off between Weifang and myself. You see, not only that, but I miss China. Terribly miss China. You know, I had the perfect setup over there. You know, I've got my own home over there. Life is inexpensive. You know, I get up in the morning, we go out for breakfast. We never eat breakfast at home. For $1 or $2, why would you? You know, so, you know, and then we'd go grocery shopping at the wet market, and we'd, you know, sometimes I'd drop Weifang off at a friend's place, and I'd take off to the gym for a couple hours, and then, you know, in the afternoon I'd go visit friends and maybe hit Bob's Bar for a couple of beers with Ronnie, and, you know, or hit McDonald's for a coffee with Dave. In the evening, you know, hit those all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecues and all-you-can-drink. You know, I miss stuff like that. Canada is super duper expensive compared to China. You know, so I miss China too, you know. I miss China. So as soon as Weifang is healthy and ready to travel again, we'll be back in China. But that said, when we have a medical problem, from now on, we're going to jump on an airplane and we're going to come back to Canada, because don't listen to my first videos about self-medication and how easy it is to go see a doctor in China. Make sure that you take care of yourself, and make sure that you keep contact with your family and your friends. And if you've got sick family, make sure that you take the time to go back to your country and visit with them. I did get to visit my Uncle Stanley before he passed away, and he'd been going for a while, and we knew it was going to happen, but still he was bigger than life, so I didn't believe that it was going to happen, but it did. And that's another thing. Life can throw you some of these screwballs, and you just have to be able to take it on the chin. And that's exactly what I've been doing the last 4 years. Now you can see why I say, you know, the younger guys and gals making videos in China can't do a video like this, because it only happens to people that are a little bit older. And me, I get a little bit older. And I guess that's another video from Gweilo 60. This is a dark video. This isn't a video of happiness and all this other stuff. This is a reality video. This is you know, this is me telling you what I think from my heart. How times have been a little bit tough. You know, it's not all roses and stuff when you go to a different country. There are things, bad things that can happen, and those are the bad things that have happened to Gweilo 60 over the last 4.5 years. And I just have to own it, I guess. So anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye now.